I remember when I first got into martial arts, and Mr. Mack, it's awesome, man. I love you. Thank you so much. You've given me so much in my lifetime. I want to celebrate you for that, man. I was learning the roundhouse kick. Everybody in martial arts knows what the roundhouse kick is. Not the MMA guys, but an actual roundhouse kick, traditional martial arts karate. And I just could not get it for the life of me. He was like, Mr. Victor. He always called me Mr. Victor, man. And we were in this, I want to paint the picture. We were in this big concrete and metal building. There was no air, no heat, no mirrors, just the concrete floor and us. And man, I tell you, we walked that floor, boom, 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 boom. Everything we did was to precision. We walked the floor. We warmed up. We walked the floor. Man, my feet blistered. There were kids in there. There was adults in there. And he would always say, Mr. Victor, you're doing it wrong. Again. Again. Mr. Victor, do it again. Mr. Victor, do it again. And as you guys know, when I was 11 years old, my aunts were saying I wasn't going to grow up and I wasn't going to be anything. And I made a commitment that day that I was not going to let anybody stop me from doing the things that I believe that I'm created to do. So I was just a committed person in all the things that I did, and this was no different. And I remember going home that night, and my son Aaron was younger. He was really young at the time. He might have been 3 years old. And after we went to bed, I stuck this mirror up, this stand-up mirrors, you know, those little skinny stand-up full-body mirrors that you get from Walmart, in front of a chair in the kitchen, and I would practice that roundhouse kick. I would practice. I would turn my hips over and kick. I would turn my hips over and kick. I would turn my hips over and kick. And when I got to 500, my joints hurt so bad on the right side, and I was like, okay, left side now. And I kicked, and I kicked, and I kicked, and I would go in the parking lot, and I would walk the parking lot the same way we do on this floor in the dojo. And after a week, I started to get it right. And he was like, good, Mr. Victor, again. And he didn't know that my hips were just shot. I didn't go in there and talk about how much work I had put in that week, how I probably put in a good 10,000 kicks, and I'm being real. I was so hurt. I was so physically beat up, but I was so committed to it. And what I didn't do was attach the element of how long it was going to take me to get it. I just said that I wanted it. I didn't care how long it took. That is, in my mind, what being the best means. Over time, I became the best student in there, the best adult. I kept climbing, I kept working, I kept doing. There was things I wasn't the greatest at, but I told myself I was going to be great at that one roundhouse kick, and I was. As a matter of fact, Mr. McElroy was like, Mr. Victor's always giving people bloody noses with that kick, because I will fire that kick off no matter what, because I worked so hard at it. And I can tell you, man, at some point there's going to be something even in you that is going to be, it's going to require more of you. It's going to require more than just someone showing you what to do, and then you academically getting it without putting in the work. Without putting in the work every day, day and night, waking up late, or waking up early, I'm sorry, going to bed late, walking the parking lot, practicing this thing over and over again, watching footage, watching yourself, having somebody point out all the little details that make you great, because if you don't do that, I can tell you, man, that you won't. I can tell you, if you aren't willing to put in that amount of work over any extended period of time, if it takes you 5 years, if it would have took me 5 years to get that one kick, man, I was so committed to that one thing, I would have stayed in the parking lot. Aside from practice, I would have been in the parking lot, not just practice with them, but practice with me over and over and over and over again. I was so willing, because I know what that feels like. From the time that I was 11 years old, when I made the decision that I won't allow somebody else's thoughts or opinions about me, not even my own thoughts, stop me from doing the thing that I want to do, I became so committed in all of the little things that it takes, and it's been spilling over in all areas of my life. What have you done? What is the thing that you take a look at in your life that you go, I will champion this thing? And you put forth the work, and you decide to be the best, and you no longer settle for being middle, for being average. Average people do that. They settle. They just want to get by. They just want to do enough to not get looked at anymore. That's not us. You see, champions only beyond this point because we understand the blood, the sweat, the tears, the walking miles and miles and miles in that parking lot in the middle of the night, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, practicing a kick, that to other people probably didn't matter, but it mattered to me. I wanted it. And as I got older, I started sharing with Aaron as he got older, and I started sharing with my other kids, Marquise and Max and Leo and Tasha and Keisha, all of these little things that make them better and the best at what it is that they do. This is required. When you choose once and for all that you're going to be the champion of your life and the champion of a thing, you take away the element of time and you just put in the fucking work. And that's what I want you to do. Choose once and for all that you are going to be a champion of your life and the things that equipped of it, and do the fucking work every day. If you can do that, man, the world is yours. The world is yours, I promise you.